Welcome back, guys, to Trails Through Daybreak 2, our last episode. Our Act 2B night sweep of Edith saw us chatting through Station Street and into the Centre Marché, where we found another 4SPG to undertake. Having finished our talks, we now find out what's going on with Lashkar. Oh, thanks for coming, Agnes. I guess Van's still out of town, huh? Unfortunately, yes, but we should be able to handle anything that needs doing while he's away. That said, you had something you wanted to ask regarding Lashkar, right? Yeah, he's been working part-time at the Centre Marché recently. I'm sure you've heard that he's trying to become a bracer again, right? Ever since what happened to Cray Village, I thought he'd called off on the idea, but last week he started acting a little different. And today I just can't figure out where he went. Kaina and Lashkar, they're both from Cray Village, but managed to keep from getting caught up in the disaster. Yeah, trauma doesn't always get better with time. At least, not easily. Kaina, I'm sure you must be terribly worried about him. I'd like to know more about what's been going on with Lashkar lately. Do you think you could give us some more information? Well, first, you remember how out of control he was last year up until the Revolution Festival, right? Yes, I remember. He had so much pent-up anger that he used to pick fights with the local thugs. Then, at the beginning of the year, he started living with me and he'd actually started making some friends around the Centre Marché. I thought he had finally calmed down. But a little more than a week ago, and maybe a little before that even, he started running off at night. It's almost like he's worse now than he was before. He'll even start crying sometimes, completely out of nowhere. He sounds pretty unstable. Wait, isn't he looking for a cat? And on top of everything else, he came home injured yesterday. I tried to ask him about what was going on, but he refused to talk. He just ran off again. Ever since then, I really am bad at this, aren't I? To think I'm supposed to be the one adult he can rely on. Please, if there's anything you could do to help him. I hope you realize this isn't all on you. We still don't quite have enough info to go on though, which means it might take some time to investigate. What do you want to do, Aggie? Let me think. Of course we help. Lashkar's Path. Grey Chaos, eh? Yes, we'll take the case. I'm not about to leave Lashkar to suffer through his feelings alone. Thank you so much. I'm so glad I asked you for help. We're still short on info though. Guess we'll just have to start asking around. Right, let's look for people he has regular contact with and see if they know anything. Maybe someone over at the chapel can help. Actually, he's been spending a lot of time talking to Yazan from the Centre Marché recently. Yazan has ways of getting bits and pieces of news from the underground. Lashkar was talking to him a lot back when he was getting into fights. I see. I guess the only other place worth looking would be the guild. Yeah, he spent a lot of time there last year to help out. I think he was just looking for somebody to talk to. I know there were some bracers there that cheered him up a little though. Then it sounds like the Bracer Guild may have some useful information as well. Yeah, thank you again. I know he's in good hands. Alright, let's get investigating.
Time to start working.
Right, about Lashkar, well, we've got to ask his employer? No? I thought his employer would be one of the people we asked, but Yazan is the key.
It's so
Time for another swig.
The weapon shop seller. He sells weapon shops.
Do you have a moment?
Lashkar, yeah, he's been by my place a few times in the past. Like to ask about stuff going on in the criminal underworld. Can't count how many times I told him not to get involved in all that mess. I see. It sounds like he's been up to a lot lately. Was there anything about him that seemed different? We heard he started acting a little strange about a week ago. Unfortunately, I haven't seen him round in a few days. You said this started a week ago. That's about all that Kaina could tell us, yeah. Do you know if anything happened to him around that time? Well, about 10 days ago, I heard talk that some people from the Central East have been up to something. Got ties to the underworld, too. Of course, it's just a rumor, but I figure it's something you might want to be aware of. Interesting. There's no clear connection, but it couldn't hurt to keep it in mind. Mysterious crime ring, eh? Sounds pretty shady. We don't know if they've got anything to do with Lashkar, though. But right now, it's just one more possible lead. That was certainly an interesting conversation, although I can't really say we have more information than what we started with. We should talk to some more people before we rush into a decision. I mean, that's how we do things. We talk to everyone first, aren't yes? Right, all the places we've been before.
Okay.
All the places we've already sweeped. Swept, even.
One sec.
Lashkar, eh? Yeah, I figured you'd be on the case before long. Is this the case I think it is? I'm assuming the guild is working on it too. I knew Lashkar had connections to the guild, but this is way more help than I thought he'd get. Well, sorry to disappoint, but we're actually still waiting to hear back about him ourselves. We have someone hard at work on Lashkar's case right now, so we're leaving it up to him for the moment. Oh, glad to hear the Edith branch is already on the job. It figures that Elaine's guild would be so on the ball. But who's this person you've got working on Lashkar's case? A young bracer named Gray. Lashkar has been talking with him a lot since the beginning of the year. He started noticing some changes in the boy before anyone else, so we went and took the initiative to investigate. Is there any way you could share any of the info he collected with us? Well, I don't see why not. Working together would probably be more efficient anyway. I kinda didn't expect you to agree so quickly. The documentation we got from Van mentioned that we'd be unlikely to get much help from the guild. That kinda ticks me off, to be honest. Well, regardless, you'll find no objections from me. We really appreciate it. So has Gray had anything to report? Well, as I'm sure you know by now, the boy's reverted to the way he was before, driven by anger and thoughts of vengeance. Our particular concern is a fight he had with a delinquent several years older than him, beat the man halfway to Sunday. What? He took on somebody older than him and won? Yep, and apparently the guy even told Gray that he was way stronger than any other kid he'd seen. Seemed like it wasn't just a matter of technique either. We believe he's using something to make him more powerful than normal. Given the short time frame, I find it hard to believe that he's received any form of training either. I think the most likely cause is he's using some sort of drug. Yes, we came to the same conclusion. However, we still don't have any information on how he obtained these drugs or who he received them from. Well, we'll start with Desire. Naturally, the guild cannot afford to let this continue. We told Gray to put everything he has into this case. Wow, this turned out to be a bigger issue than I thought it'd be. Yeah, we need to find Lashkar as soon as possible. By the way, Gray also mentioned the possibility that Lashkar's been having meetings with an unknown third party. Once we can identify that individual and their whereabouts, we'll head back out in another attempt to locate Lashkar. I actually have to deal with another job at the moment, but I plan to help with the search when I get some free time. Anyway, don't push yourselves too hard out there, okay? Yes, sir. Thank you for sharing what you could with us. We really appreciate it. That was certainly an interesting conversation, although I can't really say we have more information than what we started with. We should talk to some more people before we rush into a decision. I thought Desire fell apart after the boss was arrested. Very could be, but equally there could be remnants, just like there's always remnants of old matter that we've had to round up, and remnants of this, and remnants of that.
Okay, ready to go?
Or we're the new Desire, or, you know, now I'm the leader. It's that kind of crap that could happen, right?
Feast your eyes on this.
Reddit told me you're searching for Lashkar. As shameful as it is to admit, I wouldn't even know where to begin looking. Sorry for not being of more help. I'll be counting on you to find him. Leave it to us, Mr. Romaine. We'll bring Lashkar back, one way or another. There's a gang killing remnants of Desire, yes. There's every reason for them to not be known as Desire, but it doesn't mean gangsters stop being gangsters, right? Killing as well, it was more like beating the snot out of. Only our serial killer gets big into the killing.
Zoom, zoom!
Zoom, zoom. I was supposed to go to the church, aren't I? Subway entrance is a little further away than that. Lashkar also lost loved ones in an explosion. It'll get better once you use your magic device to rewind time and save everyone. It's not a bad idea. We should float that with the boy. We'll have to redo a lot of everything though, won't we? There was a particular sister that I agree. Oh, so you still speak. You've moved position, but you still speak the same thing.
Do you have a moment?
Oh, this is about Lashkar, isn't it? To be honest, I've been worried about him myself. The boy's been so torn up over his hatred of Armata recently, it's almost like he's gone back to his old self. You really think he's declined that much? I thought he'd finally started to recover. There must have been something that triggered his change in attitude. Do you have any idea of what that could be? Well, I imagine it had something to do with Nero. Nero? Was that a friend of his? No, it was the name of a cat that one of the little girls in Cray was taking care of. I assume he must have been lost in the explosion then. Most likely, yes, but regardless, Lashkar's been determined to find him ever since. That's what eventually led to him happening upon another cat that looked just like him. I'll never forget the look on his face when he said, maybe Nero made it out alive after all. He could be convinced otherwise. Now that I think about it, I feel like he has mentioned something about a cat before. But I've got a feeling the one he found wasn't actually Nero, huh? Unfortunately not. The pattern on his fur was strikingly similar, but it was a completely different cat. Once Lashkar came to realize that, his temper flared up again. So the reality he was trying to ignore came back to bite him in the end. Honestly, I can't help feeling that we failed the poor thing, failed to save him from his internal torment. If we're to have any hope of helping him this time, we'll need to treat this much more seriously than we did before. I agree. Once we find him, I hope we can count on you and the rest of the chapel to look after him again. While we're still on the subject though, have you noticed anything else odd going on in relation to Lashkar? Yeah, I get the feeling the whole Nero thing isn't what pushed him over the edge. There's got to be something else we're missing. Actually, I did hear an interesting tidbit from a few of the parishioners recently. Apparently Lashkar's been roaming around Riverside at night. From what I understand, he comes here even on days when he doesn't have Sunday school, but he's never seen going into any of the other businesses. I doubt he'd come out here just to goof off. The question is, where was he headed? I can't say for certain, but I've heard he's been spending time under the bridgeways along the river. Some rather unseemly types have been around those areas lately, which makes me all the more worried. Thank you again for all your help, Mother Kyra. The details you shared should definitely help us track him down. Of course, if it gets Lashkar home safe, I'm happy to help. Oh, Arusha, may Lashkar be blessed by your grace, and may you grant Agnes and her friends your guidance and protection. Well, I believe we've spoken to everyone familiar with Lashkar. I think we have a pretty good handle on what's going on now. Me and S had a few ideas already, but you've really helped us narrow them down, Aggie. You're just as quick on the uptake as Van said you were. You really think so? Anyway, let's go back over everything one more time so we can figure out our next steps. Well, I think we have enough info to piece together what Lashkar's been up to. Yes, however, we still don't fully understand what brought about the change in his mental state, or why someone's attempting to take advantage of him. Well, at the very least, we know that he's been meeting up with an individual under the bridges. That's our best lead right now. Yeah, the lady at the chapel said he'd been wandering around Riverside, right? And hasn't there been a lot of dangerous activity lately by the underground maintenance tunnel? That's right, I have a feeling that's where Lashkar's been heading off to. Especially considering what the Bracer Guild told us about the possibility of drugs being involved. However, while we know Lashkar's been spotted in the area, nobody's actually seen him entering the underground maintenance tunnel. The area is incredibly inconspicuous though. I have a feeling we have the right place. Yeah, Riverside as a whole seems like a pretty convenient location for whoever Lashkar's dealer is too. Don't you think so, Aggie? Sounds like you're already one step ahead of me, Nadia. But you're right, Yazan mentioned there were people from the Central East with ties to the criminal underground after all. If that's who pushed Lashkar into this, it would explain the meeting place. The chapel he goes to is here in Riverside. There are more Central Easterners here than in other districts, which means it'd be easier for them to blend in. It explains why they're so willing to do this stuff in the public. At any rate, we should check out the underground maintenance tunnel and see if we can find any more leads. I'm with you all the way, Aggie. And if somebody is down there, I should be able to sense them, no problem. Yeah, can't hurt to do a little reconnaissance. Let's go take a look. Go back in time and stop Paradise, the Gardens, Ouroboros, the 100-Day War, Hammer, the Great Collapse, and the Liber Art from all happening. But then Trells doesn't exist. More to the point, I think that Zemuria will cease to exist if you did that, to be totally honest with you. We'll see how things pan out in the overarching story. But I think everything that's happened happens for a reason. In this game especially. In this world especially. There's a child's footprints here. They look fresh. Anything on your end, Nadia? I'm not really picking up anything. But looking at the map, this tunnel's pretty long, isn't it? It's hard to get a clear reading of the inside when we're all the way out here.
Aren't you guys...
Gray, what are you doing here? So it is you, Agnes, and these must be the two substitute Spriggans filling in for Van. Hazel told me you guys would be helping out with Lashkar's case. I'm surprised that you already managed to sniff this place out. Seems Van trained you guys well. Actually, I think we just got lucky because the information everyone gave us was so helpful. All we had to do was narrow down his location. I was hoping we might be able to track down the person Lashkar's been meeting with as well. Huh? Wait a second. I thought you guys knew he was inside already. What? Did you follow them here? Yeah, I managed to puzzle out when they'd be meeting so that I could tell one of them. It's been about 30 minutes since Lashkar first entered. I bet anything he's meeting with whoever his dealer is right now. My hope was to secure their meeting place, expose whoever's behind this, to get Lashkar back home. Ah, so you were using Lashkar as bait to pin down the ringleader. That's a little surprising, considering the kid's so fond of you, I mean. From a risk management perspective, I made the best decision I could. If all I did was put a stop to Lashkar meeting with a dealer, the larger issue wouldn't just disappear. Well, I guess that seems reasonable enough. Not the kind of thing I'd expect from a bracer, though. I understand where you're coming from, but for right now, are you willing to give us a hand? Of course, I don't have any problem working with you guys. I plan to make my move soon, though. Once you're ready, let's start making our way in. Me and S are ready when you are, Aggie. This might take a while. I doubt we'll be able to come back out for supplies either. Just something you might want to take into account. Right, let me think. I mean, we should be able to head in. I'm ready. Let's get going. This might be the only chance we get to save Lashkar. Alright, let's head in. I had a feeling we wouldn't find anyone. Actually, I'm sensing someone further in. This tunnel has a pretty complicated layout, though. I can't make out very much. And my Zypher's not detecting anything other than monsters in the vicinity. If we stop to look around right now, it'll just eat up time. Let's wait until we're further in. Yeah, there's no time to waste. What do you say we take the shortest route we can to the far end? I'm sure we can handle anything that comes up along the way. Good idea. Let's hurry. What are they planning to do by bringing him in here anyway? Just what are they after? And why Lashkar? It just doesn't... Is something wrong? Nope, I was just thinking about how you seem a little unusual for a bracer. You felt for Lashkar, listened to his troubles, and even now your main focus is on saving him. Kind of feels like you can really relate to the little guy. Which would mean you've been through a lot yourself. I'm just trying to do what I can to help. I mean, he's counting on me, so I have to keep him from making the same mistakes I did. Nadia, what's wrong? Oh, nothing. Just having a little chit-chat is all. We're coming. Nice work out there, kid. How you feeling? Your body getting used to it yet? Jaegers. Are they bugbear? I can't remember. Yeah, it feels good. I can get as angry as I want. I can hate as much as I want. It fills me with power. I get stronger the more I think about them. The ones who murdered everyone in my village. Looks like he's taking to it even better than we expected. In that case, we should be able to up his dosage. You know, I wasn't expecting much from the rumors at first, but this kid's got some pretty serious rage built up inside. Got a real nose for talent, Commander Javid. Especially to find a kid like this among us bunch of peace-loving rubes like the ones here in Calvard. What makes you say that? It's pretty easy to spot talent in the Blacklight District, don't you think? At least easier than spotting it on the battlefield. Letting this kid fade into oblivion would have been a real tragedy if you ask me. If we raise him right, he'll make for a hell of a warrior. If I get stronger, I could do anything. Otherwise, I couldn't protect. Yes, think of that hatred as your fuel. Seems I was right to have high hopes for you. It looks like our visitors have finally arrived. Or did you think we wouldn't notice? These guys must be part of that one Jaeger group from the Central East, the Scorpions of Zahat. Ah, damn, I thought it was bugbear because they're dumb. Oh, those guys. The ones that if we see their faces, they have to kill us or something? The Scorpions of Zahat, I think it was. I'm surprised they noticed us. Guess the rank of captain still means something even C-tier Jaeger groups. True, even if they did get knocked out of last year's death game in the first round. The group de Special Relation was one of our least skilled units. You'd be wise not to conflate them with the best we have to offer. That little mishap did force us to reflect on increasing the strength of our military prowess. What are you doing here? This is none of your concern. Lashkar, what have you done to him? You really have been giving him enhancement drugs. They seem different from the ones Armada were using, though. Don't get the wrong idea. He came to us with nowhere to go, seeking power and tormented by loneliness. All we did is give him the means to convert those feelings into the power he so desperately wanted. Enough. You really think you can get away with manipulating a child into taking narcotics? I'm offended you put our herb on the same level as that poison Armada like to dole out. See, in our homeland, there aren't any laws that prohibit its use, so it hardly seems fit to judge by your standards, don't you think? And you want to know something funny? It's not illegal in Calvard either. Is this really what you want, Lashkar? I thought you wanted to be a bracer so that you could protect Annie. Whatever happened to that little boy? Is this what his idea of strength is? But back then, I couldn't protect anyone. I understand why you'd want to drown in your hatred. Maybe I understand better than anyone else. But even if you were to accomplish what you hoped to with it, you'd never be able to feel pride for what you'd done. He's right, you know. Getting that kind of power as a child is a way of haunting people for the rest of their life. I've seen a lot of kids broken because of it. I can't say it's something I'd recommend. Right. This isn't the type of power you want. It'll end up swallowing you whole. There's a strength beyond all the suffering you're feeling, but it's one you'll have to find for yourself. If that's all it took to throw him off, then maybe the kid really was a waste of time. It's not that simple. He's just feeling conflicted. If we can show him that the path we've laid out for him is one of true power, then he'll find his resolve. I guess that means we've got to prove we're right then. And yes, I'll look for an opening and try to pull Lashkar out of there. Can you free draw their fire until I can get to him? Understood. We'll do our best. Just be careful, okay? We were given a job and we're not leaving here until we finish it. Lashkar's coming with us.
Destroy them!
Yeah? I think it's S-craft o'clock. Except...
Get ready!
No, we do have... We don't have an S-craft. No, we do have an S-craft. It's EP at 92. Okay, we've got also Zero Arts as well.
In the bag.
So we can at least hit the leader. And then we teddy bear it.
Get ready!
Ha! You got this, Aggie! Here we go!
Oh, I even hit the one over there.
One steel coming right up! Get those boots on the ground, service bears! Sucks to be them!
Swords, sir. Fight a teddy bear.
And finish! What the? Speed enhanced! A chance!
I get to go again.
We're doing good. Initializing drive.
You used an art? On who? Yourself? Oh, okay, I guess that makes sense.
Don't take your eyes off the enemy! Have some of this!
Is he healing? Oh, that was a craft.
Ha! You got this, Aggie!
That's my art I'm using on him. You just used craft. Okay, never mind.
Our time to shine!
I think it is.
One steel coming right up! Here we go!
Poor Swin. Ugh, you're all stronger than I thought. I suppose I underestimated you. You're right. We are strong. Even without them, we're fully capable of putting a stop to your schemes. Captain, the kid's gone. What? Don't try to call foul now. A feint is a valid strategy in warfare. As Jaegers, I'm sure you know that all too well. Damn it, we failed. And after all the times I told you to keep an eye on your sixes. Nice job, Gray. You know, you're not half bad. Ever consider becoming an assassin? Now that Lashkar's safe, there's no need to stay here any longer. You think you can run from us? Pinch them on both flanks. Yes, sir. Oh, how considerate. You must be a real hit with the ladies. Not that I have eyes for anybody but S, of course. Enough talk, let's move. Lashkar, are you awake? Is the drug wearing off? No, I can't. Damn it. I don't think the drugs are affecting him anymore, but he still seems pretty unstable. That's why he wanted an easy solution, a way to run away from it all. That's how they were able to reel him in. He just has to keep moving forward. He needs to face what's going on inside him, no matter how difficult that may be. Yeah, but I really think he can do it, even if he did have a bit of a stumble. Look out! An ambush. We'll never be able to hold off this many of them. Yeah, it'll take an act of the goddess to turn the tide in your favor this time. So what's it gonna be? Fight and risk of death, or hand the boy over and leave with your head still attached? I don't think so. You messed with the wrong kids, Scorpions. You did a bang-up job on your own, Grey. Now let us handle the rest. You guys! Sorry we're late. Took us a little to put together what was going on. Zin and Elaine had other business, but I figured we could spare the rest of the crew. Can't believe the Scorpions of Zahat were behind all of this. I'm sure you filled his head with all kinds of crap trying to turn him into one of your child soldiers. I didn't think the guild would come out in full force. What do we do, Captain? This isn't full force, there's no A ranks here. We withdraw. Zahat might be near, though. Not Zahat, you're Zahat. Lad. It's too bad about the boy, but we have little choice. Really? Didn't you hear me? I said withdraw. It's time to cut our losses. Can't afford to waste resources right now. Yes, sir. Damn, would have preferred to capture him, but they're fast little suckers. Oh, Lashkar, I'm so sorry I didn't realize what was happening. Kaina. Oh, damn it. Damn it all. Lashkar, do you think you managed to calm down a little? Calm down? What do you mean calm down? Me pretending to be calm was what led to all of this. None of the adults understand. They all just think I'm sad or holding a grudge. While I was just sitting around, all those Armada bastards were killed off. So why do I still feel so empty inside? Please, somebody tell me why. I get it now. You weren't after revenge. You had all these feelings of anger and sorrow, and once it was over, everyone wanted to go right back to normal. Once I found out Nero was gone too, I just couldn't take it anymore. I thought I could just run away from it all. So when those guys from Zahat started telling me their drugs could help me escape what I was feeling, and that I'd never lose anything ever again if I just got stronger, Lashkar, I know exactly what you're feeling. Being powerless, it's... No, you don't! Grown-ups don't understand anything! Hey, we understand a lot better than you think. I told you before, didn't I? We're the same. I lost my family to Armada too. All I could think about was revenge. But I found my way back. That's why I'm here now. You lost your family? I kind of figured it was something like that. So he's finally come to terms with it. Well, good for you, but that's why I have to... Do you really think those people were your best chance? You want to be strong, right? But if it's true strength you're after, there's a better path for that. A path where no matter what style you chose, it'll be a strength you earned. A strength that's yours and yours alone. That's why that shortcut they promised can't hold a candle to what you can do on your own. Even if it'll be a struggle to get there, you have plenty of time to find your way. You just have to be a bit patient while you look for it. That's how it was for me in S2. Right, I'm sure you'll find something that will guide you in the right direction. And once you do, you'll make everyone in Cray Village proud, Annie included. Alright, I almost forgot. Ray handed Lashkar a handmade charm with the Bracer Guild's emblem on it. This is the charm that Annie made for me. At first I thought maybe you'd just forgotten about it, but now I realize this is what you were running from all along. Because if you didn't, you might remember the person you were. The real you. If your heart still aches at the sight of it, that's a sign that you haven't given up yet. It's not too late, Lashkar. We can move forward. Together. Why? Once Lashkar has settled down, the group decided that bringing him back to the guild would be the best option. Due to Lahad's familiarity with the drug that was used, he was able to treat Lashkar's symptoms quickly and efficiently. Thankfully, the substance had only been administered a handful of times. Lashkar was expected to make a full recovery. Both Jin and Elaine were concerned for the boy and rushed back to the guild upon hearing news of his situation. So that's what happened, huh? Well, it looks like Gray ended up being the right man for the job after all. Glad you were able to rescue the kid before it was too late. I must commend the rest of you for coming to his aid as well. Your arrival seems to have played a pivotal role. And of course, Agnes, Swin, Nadia, thank you again for all your support. Of course, we would never turn a blind eye to Lashkar or any resident of Crave Village for that matter. Furthermore, it's our duty to help others in Van's stead. Honestly though, we wouldn't have made it very far without a certain bracer in training laying the groundwork for us. I just did what anyone else would do. Besides, I'm the one that... Personally, Lahad was the one who impressed me the most. How'd you learn to detox something like that? Never really thought of you as the brainy type. What, you thought I was just some meathead? See, in the Central East, it's not uncommon to run into people using drugs and herbs like that. When I was stationed at the guild there, they did a pretty good job of drilling us all on the basic treatment methods. That being said, we've only treated his symptoms. He'll need to be examined later by an actual doctor. Won't going to a doctor give him a record for doing drugs though? Yeah, I can see that being an issue for any background checks in the future. For most people, it's a good opportunity for rehabilitation, but for Lashkar, it'll just make it harder for him to get back on the straight and narrow. That's true. We'll need to remember to keep his future in mind when making any further decisions. Who should treat Lashkar? A normal hospital or Isabel? Right, obviously I understand Isabel is the chaos option. And the chaos option is something we need to also build up upon. She's a bit crazy, but she also seems to know her stuff. And it would keep things on the down low and give Lashkar a clean slate, which would be very important for his options. So it seems like to me, the chaos option is probably the best option for the future of a kid who's had all his past taken away from him. Anyway, I think Isabel is probably good enough to do it. If the braces, etc. are the ones that are asking, she hopefully won't do any weird experiments. We know she's good. Do you think we should let Isabel treat her in secret? That way his record will be kept clear. Doctor from the Blacklight District. I've heard she does good work, but... What? You must be joking. How can we trust him to some back alley doctor? Take it easy, Alvis. In spite of where she's from, I can at least vouch that she's a fairly competent doctor. Still, you must have a pretty good reason if you're willing to suggest something like that to us. I do. I want Lashkar to face up to his mistakes. As we mentioned, taking him to a normal hospital will result in him having a permanent mark on his record. But it won't actually affect him until he gets older. I worry that he won't learn his lesson. Oh, I get it. You think having him treated in the Blacklight District will act as a kind of wake-up call. A trial by fire, huh? That's surprising coming from you, Agnes. Agnes has a completely different angle. You might be right, though. Could be exactly what he needs at the moment. Not you too, lad. Elaine, say something to them. Surely you don't think this is a good idea? Well, it's certainly not ideal, but she makes a good point. And as long as we have some safeguards in place, yes, it might be worth looking into. The guild will handle any negotiations with Isabel. We'll raise the money for treatment too. However, that does mean we'll be the ones setting all the terms as well. We'll move forward with it as long as nobody has any objections. What do you say, little lady? Yes, that sounds fine to me. Agnes is the boss. I just want to help Lashkar get back to living a normal life again. Understood. Let's go ahead and talk this over with Hazel. We'll get the ball rolling on everything. Well, alright. I guess I'm willing to compromise. Thank you all for being so understanding. I suppose now the only thing left is to deal with Lashkar's emotional state. He's been drowning in his pain for so long. I think getting him to work through it all is going to be pretty difficult. Still, I have a feeling he'll be alright in the end. Yeah, me too. He'll be fine as long as he's got people like Gray to sympathize with him. I think you might be overestimating what I'm capable of. I mean, it's not like I'm a therapist. Debbie Arnold, a B-rank bracer stationed at the head branch in Le Mans. She was tasked with working undercover to gather intel. A lot of her information was obtained by spying on Armata. Unfortunately, she was killed in the line of duty. She was your older sister, wasn't she, Gray? So that's what he meant. We know you lied about your nationality and work history to get into the guild, and we know the reason why you were trying so desperately to enter the Republic. In fact, we've known for a while now. You wanted revenge. That's what all that trading was for, and all that digging through confidential info. So that's why he understands how Lashkar feels. You knew the whole time? Then why would you let me stay? I took advantage of my position to do so many horrible things, so why... Well, let's just say we spent a lot of time observing your behavior. I'm sure you've realized it for yourself by now, but that grudge isn't the only thing that's been motivating you. That's right, you continue to display a strong sense of both conscience and duty. Your actions don't lie. Kaina, are you alright? Yes, I'm fine. I think I'm finally beginning to understand what Lashkar's been going through. I just want to thank you all for giving us another chance. Of course, this isn't something you should have to shoulder on your own. It takes a village, right? I've heard you've been keeping an eye on Lashkar for a while now. They told me you leapt into action as soon as you found him. Words can't express how grateful I am. Hear that, Gray? Done a lot for the people of Edith. So let me ask you this. Where do you want to go from here? Do you even need to ask? I want to keep moving forward, and I want to keep protecting this city. Well, if that's what you really want, then you better be prepared to work your ass off. I feel like maybe I said something I shouldn't have. Everything's alright, yeah? You're fine, Kaina. Actually, you just did Gray here a pretty big favor. I'm glad we were here to help. Those two are going to be just fine. Yeah, they'll get back on their feet in no time. But it probably wouldn't hurt to check in on them every now and then. Yeah, I want to make sure their problems end with us. Solving problems isn't exactly what I'm known for, but it feels pretty good knowing we helped save a kid's future.
Woohoo! 3 cheers for us!
Indeed.
Reward deposited!
Lashkar's path is complete. That was the Gray option, not the Chaos option. Never mind. Well, we built Gray up a little bit with Gray. So the choices were Law and Gray. Again, thank you. We could never have saved Lashkar without your help. And it also gave me a chance to face myself. Anyway, I won't let any of my previous work be in vain. I'll move forward from this. My seniors, for Lashkar, and for my sister. I plan on consulting with our headquarters on what to do with Gray. Well, as long as he's as passionate about bracer work as he was before, I'm sure he'll be fine. Maybe I should ask him about that other thing while I'm there too. I really can't thank you enough for helping Lashkar. I'll make sure to keep a better eye on him from now on. Maybe I should talk to him about his worries too. I have a feeling we might have a few in common. Anyway, I may not be good at talking about feelings, but it's something we'll just have to learn. He seems to be doing better. Still, we should probably give him some space. So I think most people in the chat then probably do Isabel on the basis of course, you don't want to ruin the kid's future. I'm really glad you guys got to Lashkar in time, but I can't help feeling like we could have done more to prevent it all. We probably should have paid more attention to the kid. Well, thankfully Gray made up where we were lacking, and that gets him a gold star in my book. It'd probably be a good idea to have him work more with Lashkar in the future too. Yes. Yes, it would. So... we have another quest complete, bringing us to 24 SPG cases closed, and 800 separate mass, 8,000 worth of cash mirror. We bring another session to an end. We have completed 2A, moved on to 2B, and what feels like fairly deep into 2B at this point in time. Oh no, fairly deep. We've had a bomb go off and not really resolved anything since that point. But with a sweep almost complete, because we have, of course, Old Town itself. Never mind. The sweep nowhere near complete because the Sidon District is in here as well. So that means we've got Old Town, the Tyrell District, the Sidon District, and Trion Tower to do. Yikes. That is a lot of Ediths still to cover. Oh my god. We've only done 1, 2, 3 places so far. We get to continuing on next time. Maybe with a movie at Trion Tower. We'll find out. But that's a lot of talking to do. Sidon District isn't so big. Tyrell is, and Old Town is as well. So we've still got quite a few of the big locations left. Join me next time for more Trails Through Daybreak 2 as our substitute Spriggans continue substitute sprigging and, of course, going to class. Maybe. But bombs. See you next time. Until then, I say bye-bye.